Hello and welcome to the iRacing Le Mans Series live on Apex Racing TV. I am Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me is Ryan Walker and Sam Kumo, and we've got 60 minutes for you today in the depths of night in the forest of Spa for what should be an incredible challenge for these drivers. Of course, Ryan, we commentated on the Road Atlanta race, and that was difficult. Mainly for different reasons. That was a difficult traffic circuit, but you know, Spa, it's notorious for the close walls, certainly through that middle part of the circuit, and yeah, at night it's just going to add to the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Road Atlanta, that was a difficult track for trying to get by traffic, and I think Spa will be a lot more, I wouldn't say easy, but it'll be a lot more forgiving because there's longer straights, and especially for the faster cars like the P1 cars, it'll make it easier for them to lap the GT cars. But yeah, Spa is one of those fantastic tracks. It just seems to produce great racing.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubts. And these cars coming around here does have something very much right about it. And in the championship, everything's going right for Patrick Wolff. Currently, he is on over 1,000 points already, 1,009 for him. Fabrice Cornelis, his teammate, is 648. That's a big lead for Wolff. Of course, what we should add, of course, we've got 4 drop weeks, so you know it could all change. But for now, that's what the standings say, with Florian Kruger in 3rd position, and then in the HBDs, Johan Haaf currently leads on 543 points, with Dirk van Tolden with 510 and Justin Hopp with 497. And then in the GTE class, it's Curtis Hardy leading the way, 612 points, with Jack Sedgwick second with 609 and Michele Ricci with 574. So certainly the HBDs and the GTEs super close. And of course, Ryan, these drivers don't necessarily aim for the championship victory in this series, but you know, if it's something that you can achieve, it's one of the most difficult achievements in such a competitive series like this to take away that title.
Yeah, I would say aiming for a championship is probably, in this series especially, is probably one of the best things to do. I mean, I won a championship back in the old World Sports Car Series days. Some people might remember and some people might not. And yeah, winning a championship back in that series, it felt rewarding felt rewarding at the end of the season, just for like the amount of practice I put in. And yeah, if you win a championship, especially in this sort of series, then I would say it's a great achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of top drivers, top teams, and yeah, even in the different divisions, it's extremely competitive out there. We've got 13 more seconds of qualifying. So Carlo Barti, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to get his lap time in unless he is extremely quick around the next mile or so of circuit. And yeah, just ticking down the clock. And yeah, we are very soon going to take you through the grid. And it is Patrick Wolff on pole position for this one, with Florian Kruger in 2nd. Chris Fuller starts in 3rd, with Ismail Rakubu in 4th. Patrick Barden in 5th. Joseph Burton Harris starts in 6th, with Julien Ribeloy 7th. Antoine Min in 8th. Bernd Kern in 9th. And Robert Edwards in 10th. Next, Orion Talmont, Fraser Williamson, Tom Valentini, Neil Andrews, Milos Pavlovic, Johan Haaf, championship leader, remember, Carlo Labarti, Ronnie Durig, Ansi Leborska, Lloyd Gugliardo, I think, Rennie Penquit, and then in the GTEs, Gianni Becchio takes the pole position, with Patrick Christoph Moser, Nestoris Kiasoglu, Marco Gabriele Nessi, Aldo Massa, Antti Terho, Kevin Siggy, Jorge Blasco Valls, Dominic Blaha, Juuso Hieta, Juuso Nianvia, Augustin Martin, Sebastian Dunkel, Andy Pers, Mari Hirschke, and Damon Ganter starts in 40th position. So for all those mispronounced names, it's always really difficult in this series, especially with different drivers every week. But yeah, they are just gridding up currently, and yeah, we are very nearly ready for this race. And yeah, of course, it's going to be difficult for the LMP1 drivers to get through the field. Do you expect kind of the first few laps, once the LMP1s catch up to the GTEs, to be a bit chaotic, Ryan?
Yeah, I think when they come up to the lap, the GT traffic, it'll be depending if they're all bunched up or close together. But I think after a few laps, the P1 cars will probably be spread out a little bit, hopefully, so that should make it easier for them to lap the GT traffic. But it just depends on what section or what corners the GT cars get lapped at.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a crucial element to this race today. And the drivers just making their way around the field currently. And we're about to get away here. Patrick Wolf from the pole position. But actually, I think we've just got this next little bit to go. They're still in formation. Big gap back to the HPDs already. But when will Patrick Wolf go for it? Could be a very awkward Eau Rouge on this opening lap. Round 4 of the series is about to go, and we are away. Awesome start for Patrick Wolf, straight off the mark. And Burton Harris already going through. It's almost 3 wide going up into a Rouge. That could be very problematic. But in fact, I think they've just about managed to all get through cleanly. All about how they use the boost down here. But I think they've just about made it through those first few corners back in the HPDs. It's Orion Talman still leading the race, with Fraser Williamson right on his tail, going down the Kemmel Straight. Williamson looking to the outside, almost a little bit of a spin in the background. Williamson having to defend, and Talman nearly going round a car off into the background as well. A couple of cars off to Les Comps. Talman still trying to get the move.
Lead start for the GTs.
Yeah, Vecchio actually side by side in the GTEs, and they're just about hanging on to that one, I think. Against all the drivers behind. Really good racing from the start here, Ryan, but fortunately no major incidents.
Yeah, everyone in each class seemed to make a clean start. So yeah, no major issues to report from what I see. So yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, just an incident for Kern out there in the LMP1s. I think we're just seeing a replay of it here, and we have contact just from behind, and another contact as well. So that was really unlucky for Kern. And so I still don't know how to pronounce that name, but Kern really unlucky, and Alex, oh dear, he's round at the final chicane. Just hasn't really put together a perfect race so far. Now, you know what, I think this may have been by himself on this opening lap, just behind his fellow Apex Racing car, and that's a bit of an odd one. These LMP1s, so powerful, Ryan, but in the slow speed corners they can look a little bit clumsy.
Yeah, the P1 cars, just I've not tested them myself, but yeah, they just seem to be at slow speed. They seem to be a little bit unsettled or kind of sketchy at times. So you've got to watch what you do with your how much throttle input you use. So yeah, I'm just looking back at the replay, and as you say, it just looks like Alex just lost it all by himself.
Williamson trying to hang on to against Talman, but I think Talman has finally got this one done. Has he? Round the outside he goes, got a much better drive, and now all of a sudden he's going to be under pressure as Fraser to the inside he goes. He's very early on the brakes and around the outside. That's Neil Andrews just going around the outside there. Gonna have the inside for the next corner, and Fraser Williamson drops a couple of positions down into P3 in that HBD field. Yeah, he's really close, isn't he, going into P1. Not really an overtaking spot, and he does just lift off in the end. Brilliant to see these HBDs fighting so hard. Not necessarily a high participation car, but you know, these drivers driving absolutely superbly right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The HPD classes, or the HPD in general, is one of my favourite cars in iRacing. It's just one of those cars you can, I'd say, kind of jump into and just race and have fun. And it doesn't take that much to set the cars up from my experience with the car. Yeah,
it is a fantastic car. Of course, hopefully we'll get a modern LMP2. Would really like that, you know, a DPI or you know, an LMP2 would be fantastic. But for now, the HPD is a very good substitute. Patrick Christoph Moser in the GTEs, running in second position with Vecchio, if anything, just about pulling away currently. Brilliant train of these GTE cars. And here's Keir Soglu trying to get some pressure on the drivers ahead. Siggy flashing his lights quite a bit. I don't know what he's angry about, but he's certainly angry about something. And yeah, it's trying to. I don't know if that's you know, allowed or not, Ryan, or it's a bit disrespectful. But you know, flashing your lights at drivers, particularly in the braking zones, can make a big effect on your concentration.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what's up with Siggy. I mean, it's kind of. I don't know if there's anything in the rules regarding flashing lights constantly, but yeah, I agree as well. It's kind of disrespectful, and I just find it's a dirty tactic to try and distract the person in front. But yeah, maybe that's just the gentleman driver in me talking.
Yes, maybe. But yeah, maybe Kevin's got a legitimate reason to be a little bit angry. Quite close just ahead with Turpe and Massa, I think. But here's Burton Harris, and he's under pressure from Chris Fuller. Now, Fuller, can he press the big red button, as I call it, which has all the power you could possibly want. 1,000 brake horsepower in these LMP1 cars. He didn't press it, and he stays behind just in 4th position. But he's got to get on with it because the Yakubu is just behind. He goes to the inside and not quite close enough there. And oh, Fuller across the curb there. I don't really know why he was going for the inside there, but he could be vulnerable from the couple of cars behind him. Here comes Yakubu down the inside into turn 1, into La Source, but yeah, not quite there, and just going to have to back up for now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to dive up the inside there. It made me clench a little bit.
I thought he might go for Eau Rouge as well, but certainly wise not to go for that one. You can just see where these different drivers apply their battery boost. You saw Yakubu put a lot of battery usage coming out of La Source, but then not using any coming out of Eau Rouge, whereas his rival Fuller used a bit at the top of the crest. And now actually going to the inside, not quite close enough there though. Still Talmont leading the HPD. It's so close. Everyone's kind of separated by less than a second down this HPD field. But so far, no moves. I think there might be a move for Labate and Durig just behind, and Durig losing out then to Carlo Labate, up 3 positions from where he started. Also, yeah. Vecchio, yeah, so...
No, you were fine.
Yeah, I was just going to say Vecchio, 1.1 seconds clear of the rest of the field, and that last lap was a 10th and a half faster. He's done a good job, hasn't he, Vecchio? Because around a circuit like this, you can see him trying to break the toe, and once you do break that toe, it really does bolster your chances at a good result.
Yeah, I'm just looking back through the GT field as well, and Siggy's still flashing. So yeah, I don't know if something's happened, and he feels slightly aggrieved by something that's happened, or yeah, but yeah, seems to be a bit frustrated at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. Got a little bit of a key here behind Blažev. And the gap ahead of Blaža from Terho to Blaža, 2.5 seconds, and everyone behind that you can see. I don't really need to tell you that they're quite close. And yeah, you see a fantastic chain of cars here through the Ardennes forest. But it's once you get into these types of chains, Ryan, with mistakes so rare from these caliber of drivers, it can be difficult to force the move because all of a sudden you kind of just get into a rhythm, and you know, with no extra power button like in the LMP1s, it can be difficult to kind of get out of that rhythm and force the overtake.
Yeah, with the GT cars, it's kind of, you've just got to sit there and hope for the best and hope that someone in front of you makes a mistake, or if you try and get a run on someone.
Oh, into the wall. Massa made contact there. I thought they were going to be okay. It looks like suicide initially to go down the inside there. Didn't make contact initially. Have made contact now. Massa does go through. He hasn't got too much damage, but that was Blaža then. He had that big queue behind him, and yeah, he could be out of the race. I'm not sure if he hit the wall or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm just looking back at my replay to see what caused that incident, and if I can find his car.
Yeah, it was just a tiny tap, no netcode. That was a proper tap actually, and yeah, I don't know if it was a little bit unwise from Massa. Well, I guess he hasn't lost any time because of it. Blaža back into the pits. We don't get a faster power course in this series, and he's going to be pretty much out of the race. I don't really see the point in him continuing, because I imagine he's got plenty of damage to that GTE car. Here is Vals about to lose a position potentially to Hietala on the inside. Can't quite force the move there.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at the replay to see what happened with Massa and the Ferrari, and just, yeah, it's marginal, but I would say it's just the slight bit of contact that unsettled the Ferrari and just unfortunately sent it into the wall. But I would say the blame has to go down to Massa, because he was just sticking his nose in somewhere where it wasn't wanted.
Yeah. It kind of feels bad saying that that's a racing incident from my perspective, seeing that, you know, that was quite a big impact. But yeah, I don't quite know. I guess both drivers could have offered a lot more space than they did. But it's worked out for Massa, has not worked out for Blaža whatsoever, who I think is now out of the event. Fuller still chasing Person has this incredible lead for Patrick, 5 seconds ahead of Florian Kruger. He's a further 6 seconds ahead of Joseph Burton-House. This is quite incredible for Patrick, lapping consistently 2 seconds a lap faster than all these drivers.
Yep, I was just about to mention that the P1s are starting to lap the GT cars, and this is where it starts getting tricky, especially through the last section. Is when do you try and pass cars on the straight, or kind of play the safe option? And yeah, so it's been so far so good from Patrick, lapping the GT cars.
Oh, Fully! Oh wow, that's such a difficult situation for Fuller there. Was just hoping that the GTE just ahead would go to the inside, and fortunately to kind of get the message, because you can't hesitate in these cars, especially in such a tight battle that this is. And just approaching Eau Rouge. Let's see if the car ahead just loses a bit of time. That's Joseph Burton-House just ahead. Let's see if he loses a bit of time, and I don't think he did. So it's all about that little bit of luck that you need around this circuit. And for now, these guys seem to, Burton-House and Fuller seem to be making their way through the field quite efficiently.
Yeah, they're getting by the GTE cars. GTE cars, say, quickly but safely at the same time, and it just that's the sort of driving you need to do when it comes to lapping GTE cars, or GT cars in general. You have to, if you want to get it done quickly, but you also have to think on the other hand, you have to lap them safely and not ruin the GTE cars race.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's difficult for Burton-House. Goes to the outside now. There's a massive curve on the outside there, which is very deceiving. And he's trying to make his way through. He almost looked to the inside there. Has to go to the outside. Now, can he go to the inside here? The Porsche didn't quite see what he was doing. Now to the outside again. Can he dispatch the Ferrari as well? No, he's going to have to stay behind for another corner. Currently Fuller is 6 tenths behind. Burton Harris to the inside now. Can Fuller get an awesome run through here? Doesn't lose any time behind the traffic. And now he's somewhat closer to his rival. It's just going to ebb and flow. They are now 10 seconds behind the top 2 drivers out there. And still not losing too much time is Fuller. Can he get this Porsche into the bus stop? Goes to the outside. Gonna have to go around the outside of the first bit to the inside of the next bit of these. Almost a little bit boxed in now. But yeah, it's so intense, isn't it? Especially when we see those onboards. It's so intense, those LMP1s dispatching those GTEs, and you know, sometimes they have to do that for 5 or 6 hours in a particular endurance event.
Yeah, this race is only an hour, but I dread to think what it's like doing it for 6 hours, and when it comes to laughing traffic and getting held up, it must be so frustrating. But that's the way multi-class racing goes. It's a case of give and take.
Yukubi somewhat close once again, with Barden just behind as well. They can't find a move yet. And here is Kia Soglu. And has he just overtaken Massa? Or was that a bit of a defensive move? I think that was actually a proper overtaken. Massa actually under pressure from Nessie just behind. Now we've got the LMP1 down the inside as well. There's going to be a bit of contact between the two of them. And Massa just about hanging on for now. The LMP1 down the inside. Still going to be side by side. But that was, yeah. You have to make those decisions, haven't you, Ryan? When you're approaching 2 fighting GTEs, whether or not to go 3 wide. I think there it was very wise that he just opted to stick him behind.
Yeah, so with these P1 cars as well, I've spoke to some people and they've said that when it comes to lapping GT cars, because of how quick these P1 cars are, sometimes when you, sometimes when you have to go in the lap GT cars, you kind of, if you go for a move and go to the lap game, you've got to commit to it. Otherwise, it can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we quite could pit now and get to the end of the race with fuel. But of course, you know, these LMP1s are so sensitive to damage. Here is Williamson. He's, you know what, struggling out there. Oh, actually, no, he's not struggling. He's trying to get the move on Andrews, so I thought he dropped down to 4th, but no. Still running in 3rd position in these HPDs, trying to pressure Andrews. Talmont only just ahead as well. Because Williamson was so good when we broadcasted the Red Atlanta race, Ryan. And out here, he's not having it all his own way, but these top 3 look super evenly matched. And actually, this whole, you know, HPD field, it's so evenly matched. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. That drive at Road Atlanta by Williamson after having issues in the early stages of the race, it was absolutely mega to watch. And yeah, he's having another good race here at Spa so far. And yeah, I wouldn't rule him out of taking the win. Yeah,
he is only 1.6 seconds off the lead currently, but going to sit in behind Andrews. And maybe saving it a bit of fuel, you don't know. And oh, here's side by side. Val's just ahead of Hietala and Ritchie. And so Ninbara down the inside. Side by side with Hietala, and it's going to be side by side going into Puron. This one may not end too well. Down the inside, I think that is Ritchie trying to go down the inside as well. For 1050 Barbanera Racing. Was Michael Barbanera, our co-commentator. So we'll be certainly rooting for Ritchie. That's how fickle we are on Apex Racing TV. And Nina Vella, yeah, can't quite force the move out currently. I don't know if you can see that livery, Ryan, but it's a very nice livery. All 3 of those cars, very good looking.
Yeah, they're actually really nice, but my favourite livery is I'll probably be a bit biased because I'm a Le Mans fan, but my favourite in this race so far has to be the pink pig livery, the pink Porsche.
Oh, the polka. Oh, lovely. Let's see if the pig can make the move here on Hietala. Down the outside he goes. Hietala knows what he's doing, and He's just diving down the inside there. Very opportunistic from Michele Ricci, and he's going to make the move. Fantastic from Ricci there. That was so unexpected. You know, he was so late on the brakes, wasn't he? And made that move stick extremely well.
Yeah, I never expected that. I was very late on the brakes. I thought he was going to crash into the side of Hiatala, sorry. Yeah, I was late on the brakes, but that was a very, very good move.
Here is Massa then versus Nessie. Once again, these two have been going at it for a few laps with Siggy still flashing his lights. I don't know what he's angry about, but here he goes. He might be angry in a second because he's almost off the circuit. He tries to go down the inside, maybe. No, oh, he does actually. Oh, good covered off there by Massa, just taking a slightly earlier apex. And these guys are losing themselves a bit of time, certainly losing touch to the leaders. But yeah, you know, they need to fight this pretty hard because, yeah, fantastic bouncing currently, and Massa still defending all over the place.
That was a bit naughty by Massa.
Yeah, a bit of a late block, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just Siggy went to go for a move, and Massa just went defended too late, and you can't really do that in a race. I think it's a bit disrespectful.
Well, if Siggy does now flash his lights, we'll know why. Unfortunately, he's not flashing his lights all of a sudden. So, I don't know if there's some kind of reverse psychology going on from Kevin Siggy, but he is still behind Aldo Massa currently, trying to go for the move for 7th in this race. Closing. Of course, equal machinery. Is there any opportunity on the brakes now into the final chicane? Almost does a bit of a dummy, but Massa just covering it off so early. He's off the circuit here, and he's going to lose a lot of time. Around the outside goes Siggy. Massa tries to push him off. Siggy and Massa making contact door to door, but Siggy's going to have the inside now. Can Massa maybe do a little bit of a dummy, just opt to the inside? No, he can't. He's going to look for the cutback, or he's just going to go straight around the outside. That could work as well, but in the end, it's just about held on for Siggy.
Yeah, that was a bit naughty by Massa, trying to run Siggy off the track. I mean, there was no need for that, and he could have left some room.
Once again now, heading into Le Coumbe. Oh, might actually be able to force his way around the outside here. Oh, and Siggy's off into the dirt. Did he make contact there? Didn't quite see.
I would need to have a look at the replay of that from a different view.
But Siggy loses out. It's Vals who benefits from that.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Yeah, that was naughty from Massa. I don't know if that was net code or if Massa just slightly pushed him a little bit, but Massa's just been too aggressive.
Yeah, has won him a couple of positions. He's still doing very well at the moment, is Massa. And here is Barber under pressure from Ribolo. So the tightest LMP1 battle out there currently. And here is Ribolo. Can he enter a slipstream here? And maybe go for a move. To the outside he goes. He can maybe pull off this move. Pretty wide cars these LMP1s, and he's trying to go for it, but they have made contact now. And in the end, Ribolo does make the move. Barber's not happy there.
Yeah, I think he's got Barber's got every right to be slightly frustrated. I mean, they could. I don't know who to put the blame on. I think for me anyway, that was just a racing incident, but there could have been a bit of room left from Barber.
Williamson still not being able to get past Andrews at this point of the race, and actually is under pressure from Jurek, Labate, and championship leader Harth as well, all queuing up. This is awesome racing in the HBDs. We could just watch these guys, I think, for the entire race, and that would be plenty enough. Fortunately, we've got two other just as competitive races going on, and you can see 3 wide potentially between classes, 2 wide between one class though. The HBDs and Haas making the move on Pavlovich, or that may have just been a defense from Pavlovich. Can Haas just get from underneath the Porsche, and actually another driver there, Lavoska, just coming out of nowhere. Where's this coming from? Lavoska looking to the inside path. It's almost 4 wide out there, and to the outside. Sorry, who is that?
Oh, what a move!
That's amazing. Valentini was that? I don't know what's going on.
Jesus. Just watching this action is giving me heart palpitation.
So Valentini just, you know, came out of absolutely nowhere. This is absolutely brilliant driving. Everyone just gets out of his way. He's got the momentum, flashes the lights. I don't know if that helped or not. And around the outside he went. Awesome move from Tom, and gains 3 positions in 1 straight.
Yeah. Oh, the car spun round. Oh, contact.
So Jurek potentially out of the race. Well, judging by that car, he is out of the race. Here was the incident. Then he was involved in that, and so I can't quite see it. I think there was a GTE just came across after hitting the curb, anti-pers, and that was really unfortunate for Jurek.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at the replay now, and it just looks like there was a there was a GT car that was spinning and just collected Jurek's rear end, and there was nothing that Jurek could do about that. He was just an innocent party and all that.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Hath and Labate going head to head. Hath on the outside then. Labate just behind at the moment. Hath can just sweep across, and we'll have the ideal line up the hill. So Hath getting himself back into contention. Spent the majority of this race outside or in about 7th or 8th position, up into 5th now. So yeah, strong for him at the moment. It's not that far behind potentially even the race lead. Certainly a podium looking very possible for him at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. He's having a good run so far, and if he keeps out of trouble, then as you say, a podium finish is more than possible.
Here is Farber once again, and Ribolo to the outside. Last time this didn't end too well. Ribolo around the outside, and he's made it. Awesome move there on Farber. And just behind is Simpson, who's crawled himself from the grass of that barn chicane, and he's back close to these guys. Actually, not that far off the podium. He's only 7.5 seconds off the podium. Come on, Alex. He can certainly do this one, I think, as long as he can dispatch these drives nice and quick. Already has passed Antoine Min in that, I think that's an Apex car just behind.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. Is it an Apex car?
No, I think
it looks similar, but it's a different team.
Apparently it's not. It just looks very similar. I hate the darkness. I hate dark races. You can't see which teams everyone is in. But yeah, that's just something that uses very similar colours seemingly. Yakubu and Burton Harris, 3 tenths between them, with Barden just behind as well. That's allowed Fuller now 4 seconds ahead. We didn't really. That gap's kind of just been gradually going up, I think, through the traffic. It's just been slightly more efficient. Yakubu and Burton Harris into the pits now. And Barden as well. Now, I don't actually know. Oh, apparently we're using the endurance pits, so this is going to take a while. Pretty much going to lose close to well, he needs an LMP1, so I think they are going to lose a lap, I think, because of the length of this pit lane.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Simpson. He's got a run on the Barber in front of him.
Barber's got used to drivers right on his tail, and there goes Alex Simpson through. But now up into 6th position, he can now chase down Julien Rivolo. That last lap he did a 54.6. Compare that to Yakubu with a 55.17, so he is closing in. Follow might be a stretch, but I think certainly a top 4 for Simpson, which I think would be his best result of the season in one of these races, would be an awesome result.
Yeah, it would be a great result for Alex, because as if Farber's got a run on him, yeah, it would. Oh Jesus! Yeah, considering the season that Alex has had in this series so far, it's not been good. But yeah, maybe a top 5 or top 6 result would is more than possible.
Yeah, of course he was spun round on the first lap. I say spun round, he spun himself round. But under pressure came from Faber. Will Faber attack going into Blanchemont? I think he might do. Simpson just about fending him off, and Faber won't go for it now. See if he's got any extra energy to use now. Down into this final chicane. Simpson can just pull it away a little bit. And there's some issue. And Simpson's lost his brakes. Somehow didn't hit the car, and into the pit now comes. I want to say that was a good recovery there from Simpson, but it was just luck really, and Min down the inside as well of Faber. So Faber just keeps on losing positions right now. Really unfortunate for him, but he's not driving badly or slowly. It's just this traffic ever so slightly getting in his way. And Min looking quite dangerous just ahead as well. And I think we're about to get a replay. Here was Faber on board then, and actually this was Simpson then. So you'll probably see him just lock up the brakes, all 4 wheels I think. He goes to the inside, he's thinking, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, and just about misses them and goes straight into the pits. Maybe felt like his tyres were a bit overheated and wanted to get into the pits straight away.
Quite possibly, or he might have maybe got some slight front left damage, so he might have wanted to just dive into the pits.
Yeah, certainly a possibility. And Siggy still not flashing his lights, even so that seems to have stopped. And Richie just ahead of him now. Richie up 12 positions. Always seems to get a bad qualifying. Well, certainly today he got an awful qualifying. Maybe just got 2 invalidated laps, and it has made it very difficult for himself to make his way through the field. But right now, Siggy's more than a match for him.
Yeah, I'm just watching Siggy right now, and yeah, they both seem to be evenly matched for pace. So yeah, as you say, I've watched Siggy a few times in qualifying when commentating on these races, especially Road Atlanta. I think it was. His qualifying wasn't as good, but in the race he was making up positions, and yeah, he seems to do better in the race than he does in qualifying as Siggy makes a move.
Yeah, that's awesome from Siggy. Can he hold Richie off though? Richie to the outside. This might be the better line, I don't know. Richie just about gets the move done going into La Source. But of course, will be an opportunity for Siggy to respond imminently. Hiatella just behind, and Nina Vera so just behind as well. Apparently they're overtaking Alex Simpson, which I'm a bit concerned about, because I think Alex has been in the pits for a while, has he?
No, he left the pits about a couple of minutes.
Okay, that might just be my end. And Siggy back down the inside of Richie here. And he's made it.
Yep, nice move by Siggy. He got up the inside and left some room. So yeah, nice move by Siggy, and hopefully he might be able to pull away. But Richie seems to be evenly matched with Siggy for pace.
I haven't talked too much about the leaders in the GTEs, and it's because it's kind of staying a bit static at the moment. Vecchio currently 5 seconds out in the lead over Patrick Christoph Moser, and then it's Antti Turho in 3rd position, another 4 seconds back with Kia Sogli, another 4 seconds back, and then Nessie a further 2 seconds back, so that could get interesting with Massa just behind as well. They've been having a battle throughout, and Bowles as well. And then another gap back to Siggy, who we were just watching, and Richie and Hiatella and Nina Vara as well. all quite close to one another. But yes, it's not looking too hotly contested currently for the podiums in GTE. Currently Vecchio absolutely driving superbly on that last lap, was 8/10 faster than second place man Moser. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Gianni's lap times have been consistent, and he's surely he's just pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment. And I've watched Gianni a few times, and he's absolutely quick in a GT car, and yeah, looking now, I can see why he's just pulling away from the rest of the pack and making it look like a Sunday drive.
Yeah, easing away from the rest of the field. Terho, great to see the Ford represented, especially so far up as Terho is currently driving it in third in GTE. But so far, he's driving a bit of a lonely race. 4 seconds ahead of Kiesoglu and 4 seconds behind Moser. Really close between Siggy and Richie again. Goes without saying, really. And yeah, it is side by side. Going into Lane Coombe. Can Richie hang on to it this time? No, he can't. He's got to be careful from the car behind as well. Siggy just ahead at the moment. Can Richie get a better drive? I don't think so. And just behind us here, Teller. Can he look to the inside in the Ferrari? Not quite. Richie can make the move, can't he? But he just can't keep Siggy behind down that Camel Straight.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Siggy's using lower downforce for the straights, and maybe Richie is using higher downforce for the high-speed corners. So he might be able to get on Siggy in the corners, but on the straights, Siggy can either pull away or just pass him again in a straight line.
Yeah, certainly could be a part of this, because of course at Spa you can vary the setup so much, because we've got this middle part of the circuit where you really need a lot of confidence in the car, and now we get onto the flat out section. The next kind of 2 miles or so, just completely flat out. Or I say 2 miles, probably 3 miles, almost completely flat out. Siggy got a little bit of a gap, and with the slipstream effect not too strong in these GTE cars, should be okay from Richie for now. Here's Valentini with that amazing move earlier on, and is he going past Williamson? This is incredible from Valentini. That's yeah, did not expect that. Williamson seemingly struggling quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Williamson's if his tyres are starting to go off, or if he's picked up damage or what. But yeah, it's a bit strange, because Fraser was right up at the front battling for a while, and he seems to be dropping back slightly. So I don't know if something's up. Maybe one of his teammates in the chat can tell us why, or if he's just backing off a little bit to try and save some fuel.
No doubt though that Valentini is driving absolutely superbly right now. That move, passing 3 cars in one, was quite incredible, and the move on Williamson was very efficient as well. He's now got to catch up to Neil Andrews. He's dropped a long way behind Talmon. It's now 9 seconds between Talmon and Andrews, so I don't know why that gap is so large. On that last lap, Talmon did pull away by a second, so yeah, just seemingly a lot more efficient through the traffic, because that was really tight for the first kind of quarter of an hour, 20 minutes I think. But yeah, recently it's quite easily spread out for Talmon, and he should be en route to this week 4 victory.
Yeah, Talmon's having a good race so far, and
so I think might have an issue. No, sorry, that was my bad. I thought he dropped down a few positions there at Chris Philippa, stolen people. So what are you saying, Ryan?
I was just saying, Talmon's driving a good race so far, and he seems to be using the traffic to his advantage anytime he comes up to lap them. So yeah, it might just be a case of Fraser being caught up in traffic, or just being slowed up in traffic. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with him. Sig is up the inside of Ricci again.
So Richie has managed to make that move again. We didn't see where it was, but you can pretty much assume that these two are going past each other at every opportunity. Lots of traffic for them just behind. Can the LMP1 clear them before Eau Rouge should do? Yep, they'll be using all their energy just to get clear, but I think that's Simpson there who can't get the move done, and he's going to lose a little bit of time at the top of the hill here, and he could be under pressure from Mim just behind.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say Richie side by side once again with Siggy, and he might lose out again side by side into Lake Kuman. Oh, once again he's got it, and Richie into the back of him. That, I don't know if there was contact or not, but that was as close as you're going to get at least. And Siggy once again pulling off an awesome move.
Yeah, that was oh, this is awesome to watch. This is why I love watching the GT classes and these sort in multi-class racing, just because the GT classes they always produce great racing, and it's just been proved here by Siggy and Richie.
Now Siggy's flashing the lights again, so wasn't going to go the whole race, but yeah, I think the P1 made a move through the through P1, and clearly not too pleased with that one. Richie, can he respond once again with Nina Vara just behind as well? We've got a few HPDs in, so that seems to be very much the in-lap for the HPDs. We've got Valentini, Williamson, Half, Leboska, Palovic, and a couple of others, and Talman as well, all into the pits.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see if I'm just keeping an eye on Williamson to see to see what he does during the stop, if he'll take tyres and fuel or just fuel only.
Simpson's lost out to now.
Talman's leaving the pitch.
Is Talman still at the front of that HPD field?
Yep.
Yeah, as you would expect. There he is. Still can pick up a penalty on the pit exit, and almost a little bit wide there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Williamson's jumped Valentini in the pit stop, so he is up into P2 in the HPD class, I believe.
I think he is. Andrews with a really long pit stop. Wasn't even a long pit stop, judging by the time I can see on the live timing. But Andrews was way clear of those two beforehand, and he's just behind now. So Talman leads by 6 seconds, so it has come down. So Williamson just, I think, with a really short pit stop, and Valentini a little bit shorter than Andrews.
Oh, jeez, I thought Williamson was going to lose it into the pig porker there.
Oh, he's being held up here. Can Valentini, he's going to have to make the move once again on Williamson. Valentini almost crashing into Richie there. Williamson should get through that Porsche quite simply, and Valentini as well, just behind the crosses. Andrews as well making his way through. Half is a further 3 seconds back, so his chances at a podium are still looking strong, because he's looking faster than all three of these drivers. Andrews losing a lot of time in the traffic, and he might spend another corner behind here. Really frustrating for Neil Andrews.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Andrews in the stops. I don't know if he maybe got a speeding penalty in the pit on pit entry, and maybe kept his pit stop took longer than expected. But yeah, I'm very surprised that Williamson jumped Valentini and Andrews in the stops. But I guess Fraser must have just been quicker on pit entry than the other two guys.
Yeah, I think so, because all their pit stop stationary times were quite similar for those drivers, so it is a bit of an odd one. Vecchio into the pits from the lead. Also Moser, who was running second. Terho, who was running third. Also Richie stayed out, I think. Rushka also into the pits. So they'll all move up to Kiosoglu, now leading the GTE field, but don't expect that to last for too much longer. We've got 17 more minutes of this race to go.
Yep, Valentini's caught right back up to the back of Williamson, so we could be on for round 2 for P2 in the HPD class.
Yeah, Andrew's a further 1.2 seconds back and half another 2.4, and actually Lavoska as well, not too far behind as well. Also, just a little bit of a note, Burton Harris, and Kruger close, and Yakubu a little bit further back with Barden, Simpson, still having a battle. So to Ribolo, it's difficult to keep track of all these LMP1s. It seems to be changing quite often. But yeah, Burton Harris under quite a bit of pressure now. But Burton Harris really pressuring Kruger now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Burton Harris in the back of his car. I don't know if he's got. It might just be my graphics or.
Oh, sorry, Williamson very nearly just crashed. Had a bit of a slide coming out of Blanchimont, and he's side by side currently with Valentini. Can Valentini make this move stick once again? Andrews is only just behind him. Williams has got to avert his attention now.
Defend.
Yeah, but he's not defending though, is he? And then he gets away with it in the end though. Valentini just ahead now, and Williamson, as long as he can stay in the slipstream, should be okay from the car behind.
Yeah, I missed what happened to Fraser, but yeah, if it was me, I would have possibly tried to defend the inside, but I guess Fraser's a better driver than I am, so what do I know?
Well, it worked out, to be fair, for him, didn't it? It's he's still ahead and still running in that 3rd position. Talman now 9 seconds ahead. It's incredible. I don't understand this. Talman, 6 seconds ahead. A couple of laps later, casually pulls out a 3 seconds at ease, and he is at ease currently. He can just cruise around these final 14-15 minutes. And he should take away this race victory.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat now, and someone said that Burton Harris has got a rear end damage on his rear wing, and after having a collision with Chris Fuller.
Right, okay, yeah, we didn't catch that one, but yeah, that would kind of explain why Fuller. Well, I don't know how Fuller got so close in the first place, to be honest, but yes, it's Fuller only just behind Burton Harris, and because Burton Harris has got damage, it's really going to invite the other drivers such as Yakubu and Barden and Simpson and Mun to really pressure in, and they are closing in quite considerably by about half a second a lap currently.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the battle between Niavara, I can't say that name, Niavara, I think it is. Apologies if I screwed your name up. Yeah, Siggy and Yuso is having a battle, and yeah, it looks like another battle to watch in the GTE class possibly.
Yeah, Niavara is how I've been pronouncing it. That could be completely wrong though. And yeah, he is still driving very well though, however you pronounce his name. Yuso. I'm still watching this Valentini battle. And he is under pressure from Williamson once again, but not quite close enough.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was just watching Alex Simpson, and he just about ran into the back of Patrick Baden. Oh, that was so close.
Oh wow! So, we got a spinner in the HPD. Guriade. And that was it Labati that he just spun round? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that was down the field.
Incident in the bus stop.
Oh, who was that?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just turned back to the HP, the LMP1 cars, and there was just carnage everywhere.
Well, it means that Fuller must have been the victim there because he's lost a few positions all of a sudden. He was up in P3 holding off, or sorry, at least pressuring Burton Harris. Here it was. I think he may have just been ahead of that. Can't actually see the replay myself. And yeah, you can see the incident for yourselves on the screen now. But it does mean that Fuller down into P6 now. Simpson, I think, was involved in that one as well because he's lost out to Faber and Ribbolite. So not good whatsoever for them. It's still really close between Valentini, Williamson, and Andrews out there. Lying astern currently.
Yeah, I'm just watching this battle in the HBD class again, and between Valentini, Williamson, and Andrews, and yeah, it looks like one of those battles that will go down right down to the last lap.
So Moon is somehow up into P4. Went from, so he's got Yakubu, Fuller, and Simpson in the space of a lap. Something must have happened to Simpson. I don't think he was involved in that collision before, but he's miles behind now the rest of the field.
It's just disconnected, so I'm guessing he must have got caught up in that incident in the bus stop and just he must have got a meatball.
Disappointing for Alex, he was after that incident he would have had a great chance at a podium because he was running really quick, seemingly had good pace, but yeah, gonna have to be next week for Alex. Just needs a clean race. So difficult to do in these hour-long events.
Yeah, I'm just looking back up at the front of the P1 class as well, and Patrick Wolf has got a 26 second lead. So yeah, he's off and gone.
Yeah, Mason Joe, I think yeah, still really close as well for Francois on the podium. So just my tone screen going up and down a bit, but yeah, Wolf absolutely driving superb. He hasn't got his teammate Cornelis to battle him this week, so it's been a bit easier for him, but his championship hopes are really going to be aided by this and be another victory seemingly, and that's only going to help him out, going to put him far ahead of the rest of the field. I think it's going to be something like double the points of second place, I think, coming out of this week. Ribbolite and Faber and Yakubu all super close. Here is Ribbolite. Can he try to get the move? Oh, there's just no space. He almost locked his front wheels up, I think, that. Flashing the lights a little bit as well, trying to get past Yakubu. Somehow Min is like 5 seconds ahead of these guys. Ribbolite does make the move eventually. I think Yakubu's probably got some damage because he's really struggling out there. He's going to lose another position now to Faber. Faber really profiting from other drivers' mistakes. And Faber already onto the back of Ribbolite. There's only a tenth between them, 100th between them. So, and here we go. Faber to the outside. Can he make it round here? Not quite, but he's certainly in range.
Yeah, I think his best chance of getting by Ribble is possibly on the straight after a Rouge if he chooses to use his hybrid boost. So yeah, just wait and see what happens.
Won't be affected by the GTE. Fortunately for Faber, he is a bit under pressure just behind by Yakubu, but we'll see if there can be any sorts of push put on by Faber here. He is closing in on Ribbolite, but he's nowhere near close enough to go for the move into Locoon, and he does just have to settle in behind.
Yeah, it just seems to be most people are happy to sit where they are at the moment. I think the closest battle we've got at the moment is between P2, P3 and P4 in the HBD class, and also P5 Johan Harf is not that far away, so we could be on for a four-way battle for the podium positions.
Yeah, certainly. Still got this battle going on as well. Siggy and Ninavara. Siggy just seems, I think he's probably made more overtakes than actually laps completed. He constantly seems to just be swapping positions with drivers. Richie, though, is far ahead of him now. Well, I say far ahead, 3 seconds, so not a massive gap. He's only just ahead of Jorge Blasco Valls as well, and Nessie quite far ahead as well, because I remind you, the GT just been at the front of the field at least. They've just gone to their positions and not much has really changed. Maybe an opportunity would be for Kia Sogli for a move on Terho. They're 1.5 seconds behind, but between each other, but that's pretty much as close as it gets for the podium positions in the GTEs. Being treated to awesome battles like in the other classes for the podium positions. Of course, the HPDs, as Ryan was saying, really close. And here comes Andrews. So he's already got past Williamson, and here comes Neil Andrews. Sorry, this is a replay. We can't tell when it's a replay, so I do look like a mug now. But we don't get the or I at least don't get the graphics, so I have no idea. So I'm just shouting at the screen. But Andrews, that was how he made the move, and he is 2 seconds behind Valentini, so it's going to be difficult to make that gap back up.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this pace from Andrews has come from. I mean, the start of the race, he was just sitting there quietly, just doing his own thing, and yeah, he's up into second, P3 in the HPD class, and yeah, he's having a good race so far.
Williamson still on his time and a half as well. Championship leader, and Lebosco as well. I swear, Harth and Lebosco have just been closing in on these guys for the past kind of half an hour, but they just haven't been able to do it fast enough. It's just been a quarter of a second seemingly every lap, but they started off about 8 seconds behind. They're still not caught up. I don't think they will catch up because they've got less than 5 minutes to go. As Andrews got too short a time to hold on to this one. That did not make sense whatsoever. But Williamson struggling to make the move at the moment and was not close enough going to Lakeland.
Yeah, I wonder if Fraser's got higher downforce. I mean, he seems to be closely matched in a straight line with Andrews, but it just seems to be Andrews is slightly quicker in a straight line. So yeah, I wonder if Fraser can keep up with Andrews and maybe try and get that position back. But we've only just under 2 minutes to go. I think it's a bit of a tall order.
Yeah, I think so. And Andrews seemingly got Fraser in his grasp. Just seems to edge him away a little bit, to clear the car a little bit off the circuit just ahead with that puff of gravel. The majority of the bats are certainly calming themselves down. I think in the LMP1s we've still got a little bit of a battle going on for, I think, 5th and 6th. This is Barber. He's holding off Ribolo by 0.6 of a second. And of course now, Ryan, if you possibly can, they're going to need to use all their battery that they possibly can on that last lap. And you know, if you've got maybe 10% spare, then that's what Ribolo is really going to want.
Yeah, if I was Ribolo, I would just basically use as much of your hybrid boost as possible, and just try and catch up to Antonin in front of him, and just try and get close. But I think it'll be tough because time's running out.
Yeah, certainly is, and yeah, 1 minute to go. 2 minutes 45. Sorry, 1 second. I meant he is behind. Here is Williamson. So this battle's still on. He's right behind Andrews, and Andrews getting past the traffic, past the Porker, and Andrews holding on for now. Williamson needs to use the traffic, doesn't he, to his advantage, because on pace looks as though he hasn't got the advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, it looks like Andrews and Williamson are are gearing up to go at it on for the end of this race. And I think it seems, I'm just watching Fraser now, and yeah, it just definitely looks like he's maybe got slightly higher downforce, so he can carry more corner speed.
Just looking at the race leader, I think this isn't going to be the last lap. I think we've got one more to go after this one. Just seen, he's just crossed the line. He crossed the line seemingly with about 2 minutes, so 1 minute 56 to go. So we should get this lap and another lap, but we will keep our eye out in case this is the white flag. Of course, if Wolf feels like it, he can just slow down a bit on this last lap, and you'll have plenty of time to spare. He can slow down by half a minute, and he will still take the victory as dominant as he has been. That was just going past Chris Fuller, who's been in the wars today. He'll be disappointed not to get a podium.
I'm just watching this battle again in the HBD, and Harf is caught up to Williamson and Andrews, so we could be on for a freeway battle for this final the final couple of podium positions.
We've been waiting for Harf to catch up for a while now. Here we go. Please don't be anticlimactic.
Harf's got a run for Williamson.
Here we go. He's going to go down the inside of Williamson. Harth down the inside, and Williamson pull his way around the outside. Harth, it's still Sopo's side. Harth is going to have the inside for the next corner, and Williamson get the cutback. The pole sitter drops down into 5th position. Harth down the inside, and he's going to make that move stick surely. Can Williamson respond whatsoever? Surely not do this part of the circuit. Just got to stay close to the chicane, and he might stand a chance right at the last.
Yeah, what these guys battle on, what it is allowing Andrews to do is just allowing him to scarper off into the distance and build up a bit of a gap.
Wolf crossed the line, by the way, with about 2 seconds to spare, so he will get one more lap after this for these drivers. Hopefully that's not going to affect the fuel. Well, actually, if it did affect the fuel, that would be quite entertaining. So maybe they will be half a lap short. Of course, it's not easy to save half a lap around here because it is such a long circuit. Can Harf hang on here against Williamson? 1 second to Andrews, like you're saying, Ryan. Andrews managing to pull away now. Williamson, is he close enough? He's got a lap to do it. Nowhere near close enough on the brakes though. Burton, Harris and Min all of a sudden really close to one another. I don't know if Burton has got an issue or something out there. He's just lost a lot of time.
Yeah, one of his teammates has just posted in the chat that he's having to. He's in full mode.
I did say it would be entertaining. I didn't mean this. You know, this is quite sad, really. Joe has driven such an awesome race, but well, he's not going to be able to do a whole lap, I think. Well, I don't know how much fuel he's got, but this is a pain for Joseph Burton Harris. Worked so hard to get into the podium positions, but it looks as though his charge is going to be at an end here. He's still going full throttle, but I don't fancy his chances, I must say. Patrick Wolf is about to cross the line, though. And here he comes, Patrick Wolf round the final corner. He has been absolutely dominant. Perfect drive from Patrick Wolf to take week 4 of the iRacing Le Mans series, of this split at least. And yeah, Patrick Wolf, awesome drive from him. I think next across the line will be will it be Vecchio? I think they're going to come across the line pretty similar to one another, Talman and Vecchio. Here is Gianni Vecchio. And he's been just as dominant as well. 8 seconds clear of the rest of the field. That's a perfect drive from Vecchio. And just behind, actually, you can see Talman going to cross the line as well to take the HBD victory. Awesome the result for him wasn't easy initially. Ends the race 5 seconds clear, but he was able to pretty much cruise around that final lap or so. And Harth, I think, has held on against Williamson, and Lavoska couldn't get involved either. So Ryan, that was great fun once again. Awesome battling out there between the three classes, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic to commentate on, and yeah, my favourite battle from the whole race, my favourite battle for the whole race was probably between the three guys in the HPD class, Valentini, Andrews, Harth and Williamson, and it just proves why I love watching these sort of races, just because they provide great action and great battles.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic out there. That battle, yeah, was incredible. Raged through the entire event, and I think we can give you the results now. Patrick Wolf takes away the LMP1 victory by 35 seconds over Florian Kruger in second position. Antoine Min in third position. 1 minute 20 off the lead. That was how dominant Wolf was. Min, though, really good drive. He was running 8th with about 15 minutes to go. That was pretty incredible to finish on the podium. Barber in 4th with Ribolo in 5th. Burton Harris 6th and Yakubu 7th. Fuller 8th and Robert Edward in 9th. And then the retirees Barden, Simpson, Guerrero and Kern in the LMP2s. Talman with a pretty dominant victory in the end over Valentini, who had a who was running like in 8th or something early on. Another awesome drive from him. Passed 3 cars in one straight as well. One of the highlights of the race. Harth, Andrews finishes in 3rd. Harth was also running pretty far down, but the championship leader should still be the championship leader. He ends up in 4th with Williamson. Will be a little bit frustrated with 5th after starting on pole position. Then behind that was Lavoska, showed good pace. Guiliardo, Pavlovich, Labati, and Penquit. And then the one retiree, Jurek, who was taken out after fighting for the podium. And then in the GTEs, Gianni Vecchio takes the race victory with Patrick Moser in 2nd, Anthony Terho in the Ford in 3rd, and it's Kiosoglu in 4th, it's Gabrielli, Nessie, Richie, Siggy, Ninavara. We saw them guys have an awesome battle. Blasco Bowles must have dropped a couple of positions late on. Don't know what happened to him, but he was going just behind Siggy with about 10 minutes to go. Hurushka in 7th or 8th, I think. And then it's Martin, Gantar, Dunkel, and Pers. And the retirees were Massa, Hietela, Technol, Blaja, and Maturana. Sorry again if I've mispronounced any names for everyone. Hopefully we'll get a couple of interviews, and we can always rely on Fraser Williamson joining us in the booth. And Fraser, pole position out there, but in the race you just seem to struggle against those other front runners in the end.
We have different meanings of pole position. I started 2nd, but I led the 1st lap.
Ah, right, okay.
I don't have race pace for some reason around here. I don't get it. I was keeping up with everyone from Lacombe down at the bus stop. Just was so Rouge on. I was losing a couple of tenths every time, and when you're doing that in a pack, someone's just going to drive past you. You're not going to pass somebody through the rest of the track. You're just going to get driven past, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, and we saw you have awesome battles out there with a couple of other drivers. But what was kind of the reason for your shorter pit stop? You really seemed to get yourself back in play with that shorter pit stop and managed to move back up into 2nd place for a bit.
It's Spa. After you do enough Spa races, you understand how the pit road works. I was also sitting behind Neil for most of the stint, fuel saving. So I think I took a quick less fuel and also understand how the pit road works.
Yeah, definitely. The experience certainly paid there, and of course Spa at night. Much different to the day, or have you done enough races like this to kind of just not notice in the end?
I've done many Spa night races, like World GT and the Audi. The HPD is completely different. I took the LMP1 for a couple of laps and it's even worse. It's just trying to spot an apex because your headlights cover such a narrow area, like down into the bus stop. The apexes are like lit, so you're guessing half the time. It's a bit scary.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I'm not sure where we're heading next week. Suzuka, thank you for letting us know that. And yeah, it should be an awesome one in the HPD. I can't really imagine a better car around that circuit.
Suzuka is one of those tracks. Love lapping it. I'll lap it all day. I'm terribly off pace. It's been highlighted many times before. Me and Suzuka just don't mix for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, we certainly wish you the best of luck, and before we let you go, any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Guys back at TBR, like normal, helping out with testing and whatnot, it's been good. Craig set up shop as well for helping out with his setup, as well as picks and dust for the paint.
Thanks, Fraser, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Currently, we haven't got any other interviews, but for now, Ryan, of course, Suzuka next up, as we just learnt, and yeah, that's going to be absolutely fascinating. Not going to be easy with the traffic whatsoever. Lots of narrow areas, but as a driver circuit, it's right up there with the world's best.
Yeah, so Suzuka is one of my favourite tracks in iRacing. It just seems to, excuse me, it seems to produce great racing in any type of series. But when it comes to multi-class racing, it it produces great racing. And yeah, next week should be one not to miss.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be superb out there. And I think still haven't got any interviews, but yeah, certainly looking forward to that Suzuka. I don't think it'll be me and Ryan broadcasting that one. You'll be back with Joe and Marco next week. But for now, we'll see you back in a fortnight's time, me and Ryan. Just a reminder, tomorrow we've got the BSR TC on Saturday. We've got, I think, the sim races for Asia. We've got the World Championship Grand Prix Series team stream. We've also got UOB8's round 1. Now Sunday we've got the iRacing Grand Prix Series, and we've got BSR Grand Tour. And then on Monday we'll be back with the World GT. So certainly do catch all of those events. But for now, from me, from Ryan, and from Sam, we bid you goodbye, and we'll see you soon.